Hey guys. Thanks for coming back to watch my little show I got going on here, guys. Welcome back to Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. This is a channel where I talk about movies, movies I collect, physical media, Blu-rays, DVDs, Laserdiscs, and talk about some of the movies that I'm digging on and really like, and try to recommend some of those to you and everything. So today I thought I would focus on a director that I haven't really talked about much on this channel. In fact, I don't think I've ever really focused on this guy, but used to be part of the Monty Python troupe, a very funny British television show from the late 60s. I think it went up to like 72 or something like that. And then he branched off into feature length movies, as did the other members of Monty Python. But Terry Gilliam was a really talented part of that show. He did a lot of the animations and different little things on there. And he would appear in the sketches too, but not as much. But today I want to talk about some of his movies, some of the ones I have. Now, I don't have all of his movies. This isn't a complete collection video or anything like that. But this is a basically, I believe this is most of my Terry Gilliam collection. But it's loaded with some really good ones. And I want to start off with this one. This is definitely the first Terry Gilliam movie I ever saw as a kid. Love this movie. This was perfect for like an 8-year-old to see. I mean, it was just great. Um, I believe it came out in 1981, and recently Criterion put out a 4K edition of it with a lenticular cover, and that would be none other than Time Bandits. Really like this movie. It's still really a lot of fun. It's still entertaining after all these years. I mean, I believe it's, what is it, 42 years old now? I mean, it's still great. And this is a great addition that Criterion put out. I mean, they had put Time Bandits out before on. Actually, they put it out on Laserdisc, which I have that Laserdisc, and they may have done a DVD also, but they definitely put out a Blu-ray and stuff. So this is basically some carryovers from the previous editions. There might be some new ones, but this is a new 4K restoration of the film, and it looks really good. It's probably the best. Well, it is. It's the best it's ever looked, and everything. And it's got its uncompressed stereo soundtrack. I believe it may have a mono, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but it's one 4K ultra high def disc of the film. It's presented in Dolby Vision HDR, and then you got the Blu-ray edition, which is probably just another. I don't know. Would it be the 4K on the Blu-ray, or would it be just an example of the other previous Blu-ray edition? Because I didn't have that edition. I just have this. So, but man, it's really good. It's got a lot of the members of Monty Python in this and stuff. It's got some appearances by Sean Connery, uh, stuff like that, and David Warner is really good as what do they call him? Evil genius. He's kind of the, I don't know what, how did they describe him? I don't know, but really good, very good movie. Great cast of little people. The little boy that's in it, Craig Warnock. I'm not sure what he did after this, but he's really good as the kid in this movie. So there you go, Time Bandits. Next up, this has been a big this has always been a big cult hit. Uh, it's always been a big cult film, and it's been Terry Gilliam's biggest cult film. And this is a fascinating release. This is 1985's Brazil, and this is a great release. I have this on Criterion Laserdisc, um, which has some of even on that laser disc, it's got some of this stuff that's on here. But listen to some of the things they have on here. Um, you get the director's cut. You get, what is it? There's like another, yeah, the what is it, the happy ending cut or something like that. And then there's this there's, I think there's a couple of documentaries on here that are absolutely fascinating. Some of my favorite, like, supplement documentaries of all time, telling the battle, the struggle of the behind the scenes trying to make this movie and what he went through with Universal and people stepping in and taking films away, and very, very good. I mean, very, just a great, I mean, the documentary on its own is worth the price of this Blu-ray. But yeah, it's got some other stuff. I believe it has like a television copy or something like that. So there's possibly three cuts of the film. Uh, Really, just really cool. This came out in 1985. Um Pretty much made a star of, gosh, what's his name? Jonathan Price. But yeah, it's got Robert De Niro in it. He's kind of got a kind of a small role, not, kind of a very small but reoccurring type character in this. Ian Holm, Bob Hoskins, even he was a pretty big star then, especially in British cinema, and he's got kind of the about the same amount of screen time as Robert De Niro. In fact, they're together. They work together in the movie. Michael Palin shows up. Catherine Hellman shows up. Now, if any kid from the 80s, 70s will remember her, I think she was on the show Soap, the TV sitcom Soap. A couple other little things, but she's in that. She's great. Great special effects. Just awesome. It's such a great movie. I mean, take it or leave it. Some people hate it, some people love it. But man, it's got so much cool stuff in the extras and supplements. I mean, Terry Gilliam is totally on board with these video releases. Just like the days of Laserdisc, he's very involved with commentaries and providing extras and all kinds of good goodies on there. So there you go, Brazil. Next up, this is a Blu-ray edition of a movie that also was released this past year on 4K, which I did an upgrade. I really enjoy the Blu-ray. I also have this on a Criterion Laserdisc edition that they released, but I'm not going to show all the Laserdisc and stuff. Just take my word for it. But this is, was it 1991? Yeah, 1991's The Fisher King, which is really cool. Great movie with Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges. What's the woman's name? It's kind of a breakout role for her. Mercedes Rule, I believe. Uh, Great little tale. It's kind of it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain because it has little layers to those characters, especially Robin Williams' character. There's multi layers to his story and who he is and everything, and kind of showing Jeff Bridges doing a 360 change in his life and everything. But really, a lot of fun. I really like this movie. It's got a lot of good extras on here. I mean, this is a 2K digital restoration, so it still looks really good. But then again, you got the 4K edition if you want to get that. But very good. The Fisher King from 1991. Definitely should check into that if you've never seen it. Next up, this is a Blu-ray from Arrow, and this was an upgrade for me at the time. I think I had just a basic DVD of this, and sold it off and picked up this one. But this one also, I believe, Arrow put out a 4K edition of it. Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure they did a couple years ago. But this is just your basic run-of-the-mill Blu-ray. It looks pretty good. This is 12 Monkeys, everybody. And big hit for Terry Gilliam at the time. I remember it being a big box office hit. When did it come out? Oh, gosh. I can't remember dates for some reason today. I want to say 98, 97, 95, maybe. I think it was 95. I think he did this after Fisher King, I believe. Uh, Again, another science fiction, fantasy, fable that only Terry Gilliam can do. I mean, he's a one of a kind dude, creator. The mind of Terry Gilliam should be preserved, and he should be cloned, and we'd have a lot more artistic everything out there, uh, making great films and just taking chances and stuff. But anyways, that would never happen. But kind of goes good with the storyline of one of his movies. But 12 Monkeys, really big hit. Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, uh, Madeline Stowe. I mean, she was hot to trot back then. Madeline Stowe, very very nice, very 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 nice. Uh, Good movie. This is a 4K scan that Arrow did with supervision by Terry Gilliam, and it's got a good amount of extras on here. The 4K probably is just carryover from that. They may have something new, but man, what can I say about 12 Monkeys? I mean, it's another one of those really good sci-fi movies with that crazy fantasy edge of Terry Gilliam. So very good. Highly recommend it. You have your choice of a 4K or just regular Blu-ray edition. And finally, guys, I know I don't have a ton of Terry Gilliam stuff. I really need to kind of fill in the blanks, fill in the holes that I have. But this has always been a very interesting release. Um, and this is from Criterion, and it's kind of interesting to tell this story because this came out kind of basically in the early days of DVD. Um, and a couple releases that were put out by Criterion was the only release. This is kind of like a trivia question. So, like when you went to your Blockbuster back then, you had a Criterion edition on the shelf to rent because it was the only one available. Was the Criterion edition, which was that's pretty cool in my book. One of them was Kevin Smith's Chasing Amy. Uh, I think later on Wes Anderson did the Royal Tannenbaums that way, and then I guess the Life Aquatic too. That the only release was the Criterion version, but before all that, Terry Gilliam and Criterion put out Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I mean, this was a huge hit. Um, I know there was other basic Universal releases of this, but this was also available a lot. This was you would see this to rent a lot, but yeah, it's an early uh, I call them fat boxes of DVD Criterion releases. As you can see, it's got the well, look at this. I'm getting all mixed up here, but it's got this like see-through slip case on there, which is pretty cool. And then some of this artwork lines up with the artwork on the case, which makes visual picture pretty cool, pretty cool. Um, and it kind of reminds me of a recent release when they did. I think Mill Creek did Rad, the BMX bike movie from the '80s. It was kind of like that. But anyways, you got besides the clear slipcase, you got your big box, I call them fat boxes, but then you got this basic artwork here, and you open it up, you got a disc for the supplements, and then you got a disc for the movie, and it's got a pretty big little booklet in there, pretty thick for an early release like this, but yeah, I always liked this movie. I mean, I remember this being a huge hit, like 97, 98 when it came out. Uh, just this huge performance by Johnny Depp as Hunter S. Thompson. It's also got Benicio del Toro in it as his lawyer sidekick guy. I can't think of his name. It was a Doctor. doctor something. But anyways, it's pretty cool. It's got a great amount of supplements. It's got, you got the DTS 5.1 and regular Dolby Digital soundtracks, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And I still put this in. Now, even though there's been many upgrades to this over the years, this one always just kind of sticks in my mind because of the packaging and everything. It kind of takes me back to that early days of DVD and stuff like that. But really cool. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So there you go, guys. There's some Terry Gilliam movies that I have in my collection. Now, I may have forgotten one. There might be a straggler out there somewhere in my library of movies. But pretty much that's it. These are all great movies. Those are all highly recommended. But most of all, honest to God, Brazil. If you haven't got this edition of Brazil, you really got to get it. I mean, I'm take it from me, my word, that the documentary and the stuff on there is so good. It's really, I mean, it gives a lot of backstory to this movie and everything. But great, just a great movie overall. It's big and it really says Terry Gilliam, and he's done so much. And he is really underrated, but he's such a creative mind and he's one of a kind, and I don't know anybody that comes close to him. But anyways, guys, so there you go. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and for some odd reason, if you want to share this video, share it. It'll make a nice gift for someone. Share the video. So anyways, guys, there you go. There's some recommendations by Terry Gilliam. And I will see you guys next time.